In examining this principle, the first thing we need to realize is that this and many other principles cannot be understood using a black and white approach. To be inclusive requires a degree of judgment and discernment. Obviously, one needs to exclude some things in some circumstances. Let us use immigration as an example. Using the law of correspondences, we can relate immigration to a family home. For United States citizens, the United States is our larger home, but in the microcosm, the property we live in is our home also. Let us suppose that Billy Bob decides to open his home and resources to those in need. He invites 3 homeless people to stay with him. He is fortunate in that he chose 3 that were not dangerous, but he finds they do take much more advantage of his good nature than he planned. His favorite food and drink disappear very quickly. Then, a couple of days later, word spreads about his good nature and 3 more homeless show up on his doorstep with a very sad story. Billy Bob reluctantly lets them in, thinking it is good to be inclusive. Several days later, 3 more show up. He is determined to be inclusive and again lets them in. Then it becomes a daily occurrence for more to show up until his house is overflowing with all kinds of strange individuals. Finally, after sustaining more grief and expense than he could handle, he throws his arms up and orders all of them to leave. Several become angry and threaten him and say they are staying no matter what. Billy Bob is beside himself and decides the only thing he can do is move out and let the bunch fend for themselves. He gets a room at the Motel 6 and waits. Within a month, the home has suffered so much destruction and abuse that it was not even fit for the homeless to live in. The bunch then leaves the house and moves into a shelter that at least has running water and some food. Should our nation take the Billy Bob approach with refugees and illegals? Obviously, if we do not operate with some limitations, too many people in need entering the country could wind up creating much damage, as happened to Billy Bob. Did Billy Bob practice the principle of inclusion? No. What then is the true principle and how do we practice it? Inclusiveness is a state of mind where one sees all people as brothers and sisters and looks beyond race, religion, beauty, age, intelligence, social standing, education, wealth, and all other differences to similarities in the struggle of life. The inclusive one tries to follow the golden rule and attempts to see himself living in the shoes of another and what his needs are. The inclusive one will be friendly or at least civil to all people, even those who are unfriendly to him. The inclusive one recognizes his limitations. He gives and helps the world as he is able, but he includes himself as one that also has needs to be met. He meets his own needs, so he can be a better, stronger world servant and make his inclusiveness count. The inclusive one uses discernment to see the difference between 1. Helping or enabling, 2. Being friendly or becoming friends, 3. Accepting people for who they are or bringing them into your life, 4. Overlooking flaws or accepting those flaws, and 5. General inclusion or allowing your space to be invaded. The first part of each point is a part of being inclusive, but the second is not. Inclusiveness is constructive, not destructive. When actions become destructive, the principle of inclusiveness is not being applied.